At 18, he was drowning in over $1 million of family debt. Every business he tried failed, and even 7-Eleven rejected him. But years later, his snacks would be everywhere. His story didn't start with success. It started with bad decisions, quick money, and a life going nowhere. Before the brand, before the empire, he was just a teenager in Thailand, known simply as Top. Not a top student, not a kid with a clear, bright future, just a hustler, chasing quick wins. While others were focused on school, Top was already obsessed with making money, selling virtual items, playing games for profit, looking for any shortcut to fast cash. And for a while, it worked. He was making more money than anyone his age, living fast, spending freely. It felt like he had figured life out early, but behind the flash, there was no direction, no discipline, no foundation. And just as quickly as it came, everything started to fall apart. The money stopped. The small wins vanished. The lifestyle he built was a house of cards. But that wasn't even the worst part. Because while Top was losing his game, his family was hit by a brutal reality. Over $1 million in debt. And it didn't stop there. His parents went into hiding, leaving him all alone in Thailand. Suddenly, the pressure wasn't just about being successful, it was about surviving. He went from chasing quick cash to facing real consequences, from feeling ahead of the world to falling completely behind. The freedom he once had? Gone, replaced by crushing stress, heavy responsibility, and uncertainty. At an age where most people are still finding themselves, Top was already carrying the weight of his family's future. For the first time, reality didn't just hit him, it broke him. This wasn't a game anymore. This was a fight for his life. So he did the only thing he knew. He tried to build something, not for the high score this time, not for a quick win, but because his family's survival depended on it. He started small, selling DVD players, trying different ideas, jumping from one attempt to the next. But this time, nothing worked. He was scammed. He was sidelined. Every attempt was a dead end. No traction, no results, just effort, and the crushing silence of failure. Still, he kept going. He pushed harder, searching for any opening. Eventually, he thought he found it. A product, a brand, a chance. He called it Tao Kae Noi, the little boss. He took his dream to the one place that could change everything, 7-Eleven. If he could get his product on those shelves, everything would turn around. But the answer came back, no. The packaging was wrong, the price was off, the standards were too high. Rejected. Just like everything else. Another door slammed shut in his face. Most people would have stopped there. They would have accepted defeat, but Top didn't, because deep down, he knew this wasn't the end. So something changed. Not a breakthrough, not a big opportunity, but something small that would eventually become Tao Kae Noi. One day, walking through a supermarket, Top noticed something interesting. Seaweed. It wasn't new. It wasn't revolutionary. It was simple, almost overlooked. But that's what caught his attention. While everyone was chasing big ideas, this was sitting quietly on the shelf, untouched, undervalued. And Top saw something others didn't. Not just a snack, but potential. He began to study it, how it was made, how it was packaged, how it was sold. And slowly, an idea started to form. What if this simple product could be turned into something bigger? Not just seaweed, but a brand. A product people would crave, recognize, and remember. So he took the risk. He went all in, not on something complicated, but on something simple, done better. Because sometimes, the biggest opportunities don't look big at all. Armed with his vision, Top went back to the place that had already shut him out. 7-Eleven. This time, he was ready. A better product, a clearer strategy, a deeper belief. He thought this was the moment, the breakthrough, the turning point. But the answer came back, no, again. The feedback was brutal. The standards were higher than he ever imagined. His product still wasn't retail ready. For anyone else, this would have been the end. He had already bled money, already pushed past his limits, already faced a mountain of debt that wasn't shrinking. And now, even his best wasn't enough. But Top didn't walk away. Instead, he did something different. He listened. Every rejection, every sharp critique, every flaw they pointed out, he absorbed it all. Then he went back to the kitchen. He refined the recipe. He obsessed over the taste. He redesigned the packaging from scratch. He adjusted every millimeter, over and over again. Rejected, refined, rejected, evolved. What used to feel like failure started to feel like a roadmap, and slowly, something began to change. Not just the seaweed, but the man behind it. He wasn't chasing a quick score anymore. He was building an empire. And this time, the door wasn't just closing. It was starting to creak open. And then, everything changed. After countless rejections, endless adjustments, and starting over more times than he could count, Top walked back into 7-Eleven one more time. Same idea, same product, but this time, different. Because now, it was refined, sharper, better, built through failure. And finally, they said yes. It wasn't a massive deal. It wasn't overnight success, but it was a start. His seaweed snacks made it onto the shelves, and for the first time, people started buying. Not because it was lucky, not because it was new, but because it was good. The taste worked, the branding stood out, the product connected, and slowly, sales began to grow. One store turned into more. One small win turned into momentum. And before long, Tao Kae Noi wasn't just a product anymore. It was a brand, from a simple overlooked snack to something people across the country recognized. And behind it all was a young man who refused to stop. Because while others saw rejection, he saw direction. While others saw failure, he saw feedback. And that mindset changed everything. From drowning in debt to building one of Thailand's most recognized snack brands. All from a simple idea done better than anyone else. And if there's anything we can learn from his story, it's this. First, belief alone isn't enough, but belief with action is everything. Top didn't just believe things would work out. He kept moving, adjusting, and improving, even when nothing was working. No results, no guarantees, just relentless action behind his belief. But here's what really drove him. It wasn't just belief, it was his why. When his family fell into over $1 million of debt, this stopped being a dream. This became survival, responsibility. There was no backup plan, no safety net. And when your back is against the wall like that, you don't wait for motivation, you move. Second, failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the path to it. Every rejection he faced wasn't the end. It was feedback. Each no showed him what to fix, what to improve, and how to get closer to a yes. What looks like failure is often just unfinished progress. But the reason he could keep going through all of it was his why. Because when your reason is strong enough, rejection doesn't stop you, it sharpens you. It turns frustration into fuel. It makes quitting not an option. And third, the biggest opportunities are often hidden in plain sight. While everyone was chasing big ideas, Top focused on something simple, something overlooked. And by doing it better than anyone else, he turned it into something extraordinary. Because when your why is strong, you don't chase everything. You commit to one thing long enough for it to work. Because in the end, success isn't about finding the perfect idea. It's about having a reason strong enough to keep going when everything tells you to stop. That's the story of Top, the little boss who turned failure into feedback and a simple idea into something unforgettable. If there's one thing this story proves, it's that success doesn't come from perfect ideas. It comes from having a reason strong enough to refuse to stop. So if you're building something or trying to become your best version, don't stop now. Keep going. And if you want more stories like this, make sure you hit subscribe. And check out the next one right here.
It's Best Version 2.0, yo. Yo, 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 yo. Yo. Best version. You gonna shine, you gonna fly. Best version. You be the best, you'll be the next. Best version. Keep watching, yo.